Hello, comic book fans. Today we're talking about the final boss issue 4. I've been enjoying this series. Every time this book comes out, I've been excited for it because it's a mixture of a fighting game story in the form of a comic book. And I know they've had those in the past, but this is first premiering within a comic book. And the first of each issue, right? They begin with showing you the journey that the soldiers went on this island that has now turned into a tournament island in modern times. And they give you a sneak peek every now and then. And as you know, if you've been reading this series, or just tuning into the channel to know about the series, that Brazen, his great grandfather, was one of the soldiers that was here, and he fought one of the warriors in order to gain his power, and it skipped his son, which is Brazen's father, and it went to Brazen. But now Brazen has gone back to this island to find his father, because his father went to this island looking for power because he was jealous that it skipped him. It skipped an entire generation. And they show us a sneak peek here of these warriors and who these soldiers actually had to battle and had to fight. And it's a very interesting story, and that can be told within itself. Like, you can do an entire story arc just on showing us everything that the soldiers went through, separate just from Brazen, because I think it's so cool. Now the story, it moves away from that and showing us Brazen waking up after his battle, and it shows that there's coordinates in a note to somebody offering help for him to find his father if he does something for them in return. And he doesn't know where this note came from. Now, we have an idea of where this note came from, but it is not all the way, revealed to us and told to us. And that is when it is revealed within this issue that, before you actually do the tournament, you get to eat whatever you want on this island, and you get free gym. You don't have to pay for anything. Everything on this island is handed to you. Why is that? Because you are going to be putting your life on the line in this tournament. And it's not just humans versus humans. No, there's mystical creatures that are on this island fighting for this as well, fighting in this tournament. But Brazen, he has the ability to fight and combat both human and non-human foes. And Brazen has grown on me as a character. He really is kind of bland with a simple motivation, but sometimes that can actually work for you instead of against you. I think a little bit more personality to the character would really work, but he's very motivated, driven, and so that may be just the case for now. And he, instead of going along with the tournament or the day of training, whatever, he takes this note and the coordinates, and him and his pal go out to where this is. And it turns out where they're going that people really don't get found. This is a part of the island which is pretty much like a band of wasteland, and it's like a no man's land type of thing. And we also get a little bit more insight on this mysterious character, which is simply titled Vigilante. And if I'm correct, they have their own issue, which I will cover soon on this channel. And their motivations in this series and their motivations towards Brazen, I would say, based off of what we've seen, that they are the individual helping Brazen. Maybe they're a sibling. Maybe they're a lost sibling of his that he does not know about. Those are just the things that's popping in my head just from what has been shown to us. And Vigilante seems to be very equipped and very knowledgeable on the overall concept of the tournament, the island, and Brazen helping him find his father. And as they go to this different part of this island to where nobody really lives, they find people being enslaved and other people ruling over them and making them work and torturing them. And they seem to be like really left alone. There doesn't seem to be any government even interested in the land or dealing with these people, which is also something, a very detail that I find obscure. But luckily enough, Brazen and his friend, they aren't really going to go for this because, they're simply, I would say, morally driven people. Plus, they need at least one of these people alive to give them knowledge on the land and maybe clues to help him find his father. And so, as they're taking advantage of this woman, and as these, people are just simply being ugly, they go in there and hack up everybody in there. Now, the unfortunate part for them in this situation is that they let the entire like land know that they are there. And so now they have to protect this woman because they're saying maybe if we protect her, she will, be more inclined to help us and give us answers. And instead of just finding a few people made in and out, again, they let the entire tribe know they are there. And so now she's up against the wall, and it's simply them standing there and the entire tribe showing up. And we see this witch, because again, these aren't normal people. This is like an entirely different race. And this massive witch shows up, and I say massive because it's not simply a witch. The height and stature and size is completely different. And I love when they put these verses here just to let you know that this is the next fight. And this fight is not connected to the tournament. It's not connected, to the ring of fighters that he's going to have to fight, going further, maybe even later in that day or the next day, because his main objective is finding his father. But now Brazen and his friend are sitting here, and they are fighting everybody. They are being overrun. Now, to their credit, they have the skill and they have the strength and capacity to fight them, but for how long is the question. And the simple thing about this that I enjoy is how they're taking their time with the story, of telling the story. They're not rushing through every issue. And the art is absolutely awesome. The art does this series so much justice. And like Brazen says here, it's an opportunity for him to show off his power and really show that side of him to get them out of this situation. And it's going to be a continue. I very much enjoyed this series. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.